The audience was buzzing with excitement. The judges were relaxed, exchanging polite smiles, anticipating another routine audition. But the energy in the room subtly shifted when the next performer stepped onto the stage. There was something different about her posture, her calm, humble presence, and the quiet confidence she exuded.
Thank
The
you all
lights
so much.
dimmed
This
slightly,
means the world to me.
focusing on her as she took a deep breath. "Hi, what's your name?" asked one of the judges. She smiled warmly, her eyes sparkling with a mix of nerves and determination. "My name is Liza," she said softly. "And what will you be performing today?" Simon Cowell asked, with his trademark curiosity tinged with skepticism. "I will be singing an Elvis Presley song," she replied, her voice calm but carrying an unspoken promise. A ripple of whispers moved through the audience. An Elvis song, on AGT. That was already a tall order, and everyone knew how iconic his voice was. But something about her calm demeanor suggested that this wasn't just going to be a typical cover. As the first few notes of the piano filled the theater, a hush fell over the crowd. The arrangement was gentle, respectful of the original, yet it carried a fresh sense of emotion, as if every note were carefully chosen to tell a story. Liza's voice started softly, almost tenderly, but it didn't take long for it to soar. Simon's eyebrows shot up the moment her voice hit a particularly high note. There was a clarity, a resonance, and an emotional depth that made even the most seasoned music producer sit up straighter. Her pronunciation was precise, her phrasing impeccable, yet what truly captivated everyone was the raw emotion behind each word. Halfway through the song, the audience was on the edge of their seats. Judges who were known for their tough critiques were leaning forward, eyes glued to the stage. The camera captured Simon Cowell, arms crossed, leaning slightly forward in disbelief. It wasn't just her technical skill that was impressive, it was the soul she put into the performance, the way she made every lyric feel personal, as if she were telling a story that had been waiting inside her for years. When she reached the chorus, something magical happened. Her voice gained strength, not in a forced way, but in a way that radiated confidence and genuine emotion. The audience began to sway subtly in unison, caught in the spell of her performance. Simon's usually stoic face broke into a rare look of awe. There was no smirk, no critique, just a genuine, almost childlike astonishment. As the final notes lingered in the theater, the silence was almost unbearable. You could hear the collective intake of breath, the unspoken acknowledgement that they had witnessed something extraordinary. Then, the applause erupted, not polite clapping, but full-bodied, joyous, emotional clapping that shook the stage and echoed through the hall. The judges were the first to stand, and Simon's usual measured approach gave way to a visible expression of shock. I have never heard that before," he said, struggling to find words. "That was incredible, truly incredible." Another judge leaned forward, smiling with tears glistening in her eyes. "It's not just about hitting the notes. It's about making you feel them, and Liza, you made all of us feel every single word." The audience's reaction continued to swell, and Liza's humble smile showed both relief and gratitude. She had poured her heart into the performance, and the recognition was overwhelming. Simon, usually reserved even with talent, stood and extended a hand. "Liza, that was amazing. You didn't just sing Elvis. You owned it. You made it yours. That is rare. That is very rare." The cameras captured her reaction, a mix of disbelief and joy, and it was in that moment the world realized just how special her talent was. She had not only performed a song, she had connected with the hearts of everyone in the room. After the performance, backstage interviews revealed her journey. She spoke about her childhood, her love for music, and how Elvis had inspired her to pursue her dreams. Her story was one of resilience, passion, and the courage to bring her unique voice to the world stage. "Every time I sing, I want people to feel what I feel," she said softly, eyes shining. "Music has always been my escape and my joy. If I can make even one person smile, or feel something deep, then I have succeeded." The judges nodded in agreement. Simon, usually skeptical of emotional performances, added, "You didn't just entertain. You reminded us why we love music. That is something very few can do." In the days following the episode, clips of her performance went viral. Fans around the world shared their reactions, praising not only her technical skill but the sheer emotional power of her rendition. Social media was flooded with admiration, with many calling it one of the most emotional and inspiring moments in AGT history. And while accolades poured in, Liza remained grounded. She continued to express gratitude for the opportunity to perform and the support she received. Her humility, paired with her extraordinary talent, made her story resonate even more deeply. That night, when the stage lights dimmed and the audience finally left, something lasting had happened. Music had once again proven its power to transcend boundaries, touch hearts, and create memories that stay with us forever. Simon Cowell, known for his tough critiques, had witnessed the unexpected, a performance so moving, so skillfully executed, that it defied expectations and left everyone in awe. It was a reminder that talent knows no borders, that emotion can be heard across any stage, and that a single voice, when filled with sincerity, can captivate the world. Liza, the Filipino singer who dared to channel the king of rock, had created an emotional moment that would never be forgotten. Every note, every breath, every glance on that stage told a story of passion, of dedication, and of the power of believing in oneself. And in that moment, when the music faded but the emotions lingered, the audience, the judges, and even Simon Cowell realized that sometimes, magic is real, and it comes in the form of a voice that refuses to be ordinary.